Alright guys, here on Thursday for the 19th annual Big O Tribute. This year we'll be running Junior Limited here for the Junior Big O. First time ever in a limited motor, super excited for that. So tomorrow we'll have one limited race and then one Junior 3 clone race. And then on Saturday we'll only have one race and it'll be Junior 3 clone. Which is kind of unfortunate to drive all the way up here for only 3 races and one limited race. But still happy to be here at my favorite track. And track is looking pretty good, looking better than I did last year. Last year we showed up at about the same time and the track was tilled up 7 inches, which was pretty insane for the night before one of the biggest races. I'm super excited to race a bunch of good competition, and it's supposed to be a 55% chance of rain tomorrow and on Saturday, which would be really unfortunate if we drove all the way up here to get rained out, but looking optimistic here and hoping for a really competitive weekend. Alrighty guys, Friday morning here at the Big O. Track's looking pretty good so far, just getting the carts pre-checked and everything. Today we'll be running one Junior 3 race and one limited race, so it should be a pretty short day today. Even though my races will be super late, we don't have much racing, so it should be a pretty good day, and looking forward to running a limited for the first time. So what ended up happening there was when we were on the grid, Jonathan was hitting the throttle on the motor, and the throttle cable ended up becoming unhooked, which meant I was pressing the gas all the way and nothing was happening on the motor. So they had to shut it off, get it unhooked, and then restart it. So rolled out just a touch late here, didn't miss any track time. We finally come around for first lap of speed. We get a decent corner there, and then we get entry, and then there's a cart in the wall, so I had to slow down. And that was all of the practice I was going to get in this one, because they ended up pulling us off the track because there was lightning and the storm that was rolling in. Alright guys, just finished our practice here at the Big O. We got one practice here in the Clone. We ran about 14th. We were pushing really hard. We were driving off the left rear really bad. And then Big O practice, we went out there, got about half a lap of speed, and then someone went into the wall, and then they stopped us, and then they black flagged it due to lightning. So I pulled off the track about 10 minutes ago and it just started raining. Hopefully it doesn't rain too long and they restarted practice, because I could really use the practice in the limited. But so far I think I'm going to like it. It feels pretty good, and super excited to race it.
How's it compare to your BP motor?
BP is definitely faster than the BP, and steers a lot harder. Like when you let off the gas, it really wants to shoot to the bottom. But that's also an asphalt versus dirt, so I'm not really sure, but in the straightaway it's about the same. Okay, rolling out for Cologne here after the rain delay. As you can see, the track is still dark from the weather. You can see it's still pretty slick there through 1 and 2. All by myself, so just gonna try to be able to put down some times and just get a good feel for qualifying. Now you can see I'm not going to be by myself anymore as we get grouped together, but shouldn't be an issue. Just have to run my own line and try not to let too many people get in my way. As you can see, we have lots of speed early as we're able to get one off of corner number 4 there. And just really trying to keep the cart on the bottom off the corner. It's just going to be the fastest way around. You see, give the cart ahead of us a little bump, and then we're able to get underneath there, and checker comes out. So another super fast practice, but still good work for qualifying. Then you can see short turnaround there for this limited practice, as this will be my first full practice here on the limited, as I've got about a lap underneath me in the limited before. So right now in the wet, I pretty much have no experience, so probably gonna be pretty slow here. Just trying to keep it on the bottom, and the track's still super slick for a limited. So it was definitely kind of sketchy. As you can see, I'm super slow through there. But we didn't want to ruin any tires for this, so we didn't prep them for the wetness. So I was definitely not going to be too fast in this one, as we just were not prepped for this. But missed the corner there as Kyler's gonna get underneath me. But all I'm trying to do is just feel out this motor speed and just get the throttle response because never ran one before. So just trying to get ready for qualifying without really being able to run the track. Caution's gonna come out there in this, as we'll probably only have like 2 more laps of practice anyways. This was also my first time pretty much sitting in this kart, as I'd never ran this kart before. And once again, just want to give a huge thank you to the Bellamy family for putting me in this and getting me this motor. Absolutely amazing opportunity, and I am super thankful. As you can see, go up high there, and we're gonna lose a lot of spots, but it's just practice, so it doesn't really matter. And it's super wet, so everyone was running different speeds. But hopefully this practice will be enough so we can do good in qualifying. Alright, finished up our practicing here at Paradise after the rain. Just had a couple short practices. We ran one more on the 11 to 15 Junior 3 kart. Did okay, was able to get a couple people out of turn 4. And then for the Junior Limited, we just had a bunch of wheel spin no matter what, which was to be expected, so couldn't really hit much corners, but got a better feel for the speed and hopefully we can make something happen in qualifying.
qualifier at a 12.
All right, just finished Junior Limited there. We were doing pretty good in that one. We had a pretty slow start there. I was going in way too deep in 3, so I was just pushing on the floor, not getting any grip. And then 1 and 2, we kind of figured out pretty quick. And then that last lap, I think we gained 4 tenths because we finally got 4 right. So jumped up to 4th there after my group. And then we dropped all the way to 11th, which I'm still super happy with. All I want to do is make the race. So super happy. And good job for Bellamy on the tires. He really did good there. And for Cologne, we had a lot of speed. I just unfortunately came out of the corner a little too high in the first lap. Had to check up the film on the flag stand. So that ruined our second lap. And if I didn't do that, I feel like we could have been around top 5. But hard to say, but still pretty good qualifying there, 11, and have a good race there. Okay, coming to the green here for the Junior 3 warm-up race on Friday night. Starting 11th here. Have a pretty decent chance at making some spots up early. Right on the back bumper of the cart ahead of us. We're going to end up falling back off of him through the first set of corners. And then coming in at 3, we're going to get a really big hit. Which is going to push us wide. And then we're going to end up losing only 1 spot there. And then we're going to get high off of 2 and end up losing another spot. So already down 2 spots early. And really have to focus on getting down to the bottom of the track and just trying to stay low. Now you can see there's a big group of carts behind me that are starting to catch me. Because I'm already can tell right now that I'm slow and I'm not going to have really any speed in this race. You can see trying to make a move under the cart ahead of me as I'm going to look to get him on the inside, but I'm going to get passed by 1 cart there. So we're already down 4 or 5 spots and not gaining any speed and just falling back off of everybody. See, cart ahead of us goes for a move, so we're able to catch up to him. We look to the bottom. We're going to be able to get that move done, so you gain back 1 spot. And then we're going to put a little bit of gap to the cart behind us. We're going to catch this cart ahead of us as we get to the back of him. Caution's going to come out right as we cross the line there, so we'll line back up down a couple spots from the original order. Start right on the back of the cart ahead of us. As we get through this set of corners, we're able to get underneath him and caution is going to come out before we reach the corner, so not going to matter there. But already it looks like everyone's pretty jumpy on the starts. Everyone's pushing really hard, and they're trying to make moves super early. So going into 3, everybody is everywhere on the track and no one's in line. Spun around before we even get to go green, so won't even go green there. As Junior 3, especially when they take all 30 of us, it's just filled with cautions, and the races hardly ever get started because everyone in the back just struggles to make up the speed, and then they all slam into each other. And I don't know if you all saw that in the corner of your screen, but Cowboy just flipped there right in the back, going about 4 miles an hour. And that's what I was just saying, is you can't take 30 Junior 3s, especially in the back, because they just don't really know what they're doing. He ended up flipping, like literally going 4 miles an hour, and broke his collarbone, so he was done for the night and tomorrow, which is really unfortunate. Finally get to go green here. Hopefully this one lasts. We're getting pushed to the first set of corners as we lost the cart ahead of us there, and getting a big push from the cart behind us. But you can see everybody's everywhere on the track. Cart is going to go flying up high. We were able to keep down low, as now we have Braden behind us and halfway to go. Have decent speed, but it's just not going to be enough right now, as Braden's going to get by us, and now we need to try to work to follow him as much as we can. Because coming out of the corners, it was driving off the left rear way too hard, so it was wanting to push off the corner, and especially out of 4 with all the bumps, we really had to slow it down at the center to get it to work. And it really wouldn't even work at the center anyways. And you see Austin Lynn pushes off a 4 there, so we're able to slip underneath him. But you can see we've lost the carts ahead of us now, so it's just us 2 isolated, as he's going to give me a decent push as he looks to make a move there. He's going to get to the inside, and we're going to slip back underneath him, as now it's 2 to go. Have a decent push off that corner as we were trying to follow him, and now you can see that cart behind us, that orange one, is now catching us as white flag, as he looks to be way faster than me. He's going to get to my back bumper, and he's going to end up hitting me into the corner. Surprises me, didn't even know he was there, and then he's going to end up passing me right before the line.
Top 3 carts now stacked together, bumper to bumper. Seabright going to use the pressure for the lead down the front straightaway. Seabright.
Alright, going green here in limited right away as we get a decent start on the back of Spanky, as they're already battling really hard ahead of us, as I'm going to go easy in the first corner, and then we get a cart out of the corner because they spin off the top, and we're going to get another one there, but caution is going to come out, so none of that will matter. But for the first start in the limited, it felt awesome. I mean, it was insane watching everyone just go everywhere on the track because nobody was following in line on that start. Felt really fast, and your reactions definitely have to be very on point. But in turn 1 and 2, I was going a little too easy there, and unfortunately under this caution my chain ended up coming off, so we weren't even able to finish this, as my mom was looking to try to see where I was on track, and she can't find me because I'm not on the track anymore. Alright guys, Saturday morning here at the Big O. Just finished up the drivers meeting. Last night we ran Junior 3, we just didn't really have enough speed. Every time we come out of the corner we were slow and didn't have any roll speed. So we lost a couple spots there. And then for Junior Limited, I was really looking forward to running that class. The first green flag, we looked like we had some speed, we made a couple passes. But then my chain ended up coming off under caution, and then we had to pull off, which is really unfortunate because I wanted to run that class. And then today we just have one Junior 3 race, so hopefully we can get it done. Alright, just finished up our 1 practice for the day. Our Junior 3 practice was okay. We just had a big hop out of the corner, and
Somebody's distracting our driver.
Alright, just finished up our Junior 3 practice for today. We went out there in the second group. We were doing okay. We just had a pretty big hop off of 4, and I didn't really want to turn any off of 2 either, so we know what we're doing wrong on tires. So we'll get there this practice and should have some decent speed for qualifying. I had 1 okay lap where I didn't have a push on 4, so I need to try to figure that out for qualifying. Alright guys, just finished up Junior 3 qualifying. Went out there in 4th group, did pretty decent. We were 9th in our group and ended up dropping to 12th. Turns 1 and 2 were pretty good. It just didn't feel like we were in the track because it wasn't really gripped up too much. It was kind of, the steering was all really light and we were just kind of getting through the corner flat out, but I didn't feel gripped up. And then 3 and 4 was decent. I was really trying to get 4 down low because if you come up a little too high, there's a bunch of bumps, but you start pushing it real wide. So I was really arcing the corner and getting it down low and end up 12th there. I mean, it's decent. I'm pretty happy with it right now and should be a pretty good spot to get a top 5 for the race. All right, so as we're rolling out here for Junior 3, I just want you to keep in mind that this is 30 of some of the best Junior 3 drivers in the nation, and I just want you guys to see how they're going to handle a pro class here at the Big O. So this is our only race Saturday, and let's just see how everyone races. So already, they're all tangled up on the starts, so caution's going to come out the first time, and now I'm going to go green. Now, second time here, not as bad. Everybody gets pretty good starts. And we're all in line this time. So we're gonna go green. Get an okay start. We fell off the back of the cart ahead of us, but we'll be able to catch that up right away as they're all racing ahead of us. And now is where things start to go pretty crazy. As we get to the back ahead of us, I didn't realize caution came out. That's why you saw how fast I went underneath them, because I was not ready for them to be stopping. But caution is going to come out there before or after we complete one lap. So finally got a lap in, but I'm pretty sure they went back to the original order if I remember. So now we already have our third restart. As you can see, they're pushing and shoving. Everyone's in line there as we come off. Get a pretty bad start on the back of them. We get straight to the back of the cart ahead of us there as we're pushing them going in a 4. As we come out of the corner, caution's going to come out again before we complete a lap. So now we'll be going to our 4th restart before we've even completed a lap. As you can see, cart spinning around there on the right side of your screen. So obviously not going to go green that time. So now we'll head to our 5th restart. Still haven't completed a lap. And you can see they're all bunched up. As cart ahead of me does not get a very good start, but we get a good start. As we're able to make it the first set of corners, and then we're gonna make it past the cart ahead of us. So we already gained one spot there on the back of this white cart ahead of us. As caution's gonna come out again.
They did multiple restarts, though. I thought by the 3rd restart, you didn't keep on stepping.
So now we will try again for another restart. I've officially lost count. I forgot what we were at, but probably about the 6th restart so far. And we completed one lap. As get a good start there. Everyone looks like they're in line this time. Right away, we're putting pressure on the cart ahead of us as we look to the inside. And caution's gonna come out before we get another lap, and there's carts everywhere back there on the turns 3 and 4. So gonna have another restart. No surprise there. See, carts ahead of me are blocking all the way down to as low as they can go on the track. And cart ahead of us is going to get turned into a cone, into another cone. And we're going to be able to make it through that as we make it past the cart ahead of us there. So we've gained 2 spots in this start. And we're going to make it another lap there. And then putting pressure on the cart ahead of us. And caution is going to come out as we have 1 spun on the back stretch. Now there's a red flag
Back to the original starting
because they're red flagging us just to put us back in our starting order. So now we'll have another restart here. And you can see everyone's doing super slow, which just means that they're just going to be shoving more than ever. As this holds true as I get lifted in the air and then turned around in front of the field. And then I don't get hit there. Fortunately, I don't get hit. So we're going to drive back to our starting order. And so far we've completed 1 lap, by the way. So just keep that in mind. And I'm sure you guys don't know how many restarts are on. It's got to be like 10 at this point. So hopefully this is going to be a good restart finally. But I mean, you can just see how many carts there are. It's pretty insane. Get a good start there finally as we are pushing the cart ahead of us. Gonna be up there with everybody. It's putting pressure on as we come off the corner, and we're look to the inside, and you see there's a big wreck there in the back off of 4, as they're immediately going to throw the red flag before we get there. So we're all going to stop, and it looks like a cart flipped or somebody flew out, which ended up being Tipton LaPearl, which anybody who races in Florida with me knows who that is. And it's really unfortunate. You see multiple carts there with heavy damage, as Tipton was, you can see his carts right there, but he was over the berm. I don't know if he got flown out or what, but he ended up having a fractured collarbone and pulled a muscle. So really unfortunate as he went to the hospital. That's two broken collarbones this weekend. Really unfortunate for him. And at this point, they ended up stopping the race, obviously, and they talked to all of us about how we had completed 1 lap and we were way over the time limit. As you can see, there's Tipton right there. As we were way over the time limit, and they said they're giving us 1 more chance just because they wanted us to race. So now if any more cautions come out, the race is over. So really need to get a good start here, and hopefully nobody would push us like they had been doing the whole time. And like I said, remember, these are probably some of the best drivers in the nation right now for Junior 3. And it's a pretty bad race so far. So you're gonna get a good start here. Hopefully this start's gonna last, as putting pressure onto the cart ahead of us, as they are battling really hard into 3. As we come off this corner, still looking good, still with speed, as we're going to be right on the back of that car ahead of us. As he's going to look to the inside, we're going to end up hitting him off the corner, and then we're going to end up getting stuck in the outside and just getting trained. And then a car ahead of us, his tire is going to come off right in front of us. Luckily we didn't hit him, but we lose a lot of spots there. I mean, we lost probably 8 or 9 spots right there through those set of corners. Really unfortunate, but we need to try to get back focused and make up some of the spots we lost. We're going to get a cart there who went off pretty high, as Braden looks to the inside. He's gonna make that move stick. And now we're right on the back of this blue cart ahead of us. As Braden's getting real racy up ahead of us as he makes another pass. And then we're gonna push this blue cart by. And then we're gonna slip underneath him as he came in with too much speed. So he gained two more spots there. But now we have a huge gap to Braden ahead of us. So really gonna have to try and focus and cut this gap down. And now we have a huge gap to the carts behind us. So we really have to put in some good laps here. As right about now, I knew I had decent speed as we've been running good all race. We ended up getting really unlucky there at the start as we got hung behind a couple of carts. And we got hung out to dry there on the outside. And right about now, we just have to keep staying consistent to try to put down good lap times and try to gain a little bit on the cart ahead of us, even though he's already super far ahead. So it's going to be real hard to close the distance, and just making sure the cart behind us isn't catching up too much either. And still, the cart's still feeling good about right about here, and everything's okay. And as you look closely there, I don't know if you guys saw it, here's a replay. The white cart right there is going to knock a tire down as it's just going to roll out on the track right ahead of us. We almost dodged it, but we didn't. It clips the right front there. Doesn't slow us down too bad and didn't damage the cart at all, luckily. But definitely could have been way worse. So good thing it did not. And it was still sticking in the middle of the track, so they went out there and grabbed it, which could have been bad, but luckily it wasn't. And you can see they're really racing up front. But unfortunately we just got stuck out there in the middle. But you can see they are really racing. And guys, I want you to check right now to make sure you're subscribed, because we get a lot of views on all these videos, but then we don't ever really gain any subscribers, and the subscribers could really help us out. So check right now to make sure you're subscribed, and if you're not, go ahead and subscribe. You can see white flag that time, so one more lap, as we have no issues with anyone behind us or in front of us. We just gotta wait, make one more lap. And congratulations to Clayton Pitcher and Declan Willis on second. He was super close there, but we end up like 13th or so. Kind of unfortunate. We were definitely hoping for a better race. Alright, just finished at Junior 3, one of the dumbest races I've ever been in, just 60 laps on the track or so. We had really good speed there. If any of the starts would have worked out, we would have been there. They didn't, and then the one start that did work out, we ended up getting trained really far back and then just can't recover from that. So ended up losing a bunch of spots and did not finish well, but it's unfortunate. We still had an okay Big O. We were able to run a limited for the first time, and had some, honestly did not have good Junior 3 races, but it's what it is, and now we have to get home to Florida tomorrow and after school on Monday.
I'm hoping Tipton's doing well.
Yeah. I'm sure most of you guys have seen the finish to the Big O already, but if you haven't, here's the final 3 laps. You can see how big of a gap Colin Mize had over Chase Williamson, and he was closing a little every lap, but it didn't look like he was going to have enough. And you can see from where we were standing, we weren't able to see turn 4, but you can see he's just inching ever closer. But then when you see on the back stretch, there's absolutely no way he can close that gap in one corner. And then you see he comes through there. It looks like he gains a little bit of speed. And then all we see is Chase Williamson freaking next to him as he comes off. And he immediately is over there celebrating. And absolutely heartbreaking for Colin Mize that his motor ended up cutting off or sputtered in the last corner. But what an insane finish. Holy shit, he lost it.